welcome to the Neil Bailey Rides YouTube channel. I'm Neil Bailey.
I am Basil Collier.
And we have a really particularly interesting show for you this evening.
I think so too. Last couple episodes have just been bonkers. I mean, we are on a roll here. Huh?
Well, you weren't even here last episode. What are you on about?
Yeah, but I was still in the show and enjoyed myself.
So on the show tonight, we thought we've been so grateful to all of you guys for writing in, commenting, and you're leaving comments on the YouTube channel. We're getting them privately on Facebook. There's some particularly unpleasant ones on some toilet walls, Baz, but we won't get into those. So what we thought we'd do tonight is
read some of the comments and comment on the comments.
So shall I start?
Why don't you start?
All right, Baz. Okay. So one of our super duper commenters and big supporter of the show, Jet Taylor. Jet, we really appreciate this. He looked in and said on the episode when we were down on the island with Richard Branson, fun episode, and he knew that Nate was going to be the chick magnet.
Yeah, yeah, we screwed up. We should have taken Nate with us. Probably would have met some interesting people instead
That's
of
why
just.
we didn't meet any chicks.
Yeah, we would have gotten out of the jacuzzi and actually mingled.
Ah, I see, that's it. So, Jet, thank you for the comment. Thank you for the comment on Nate, and I'm sure he'll be really happy to know that he's the chick magnet of the group.
Yeah.
Do you have a comment, Baz?
Yeah, I had a really fun one. Did Neil used to make I Can't Believe It's Not Butter commercials, or is that someone else? What is he talking about? Who was on those commercials? Was it Fabio? But you have to be a certain age to know who Fabio is, so just go ahead and Google it, Fabio. It's kind of funny. I mean, maybe I see the resemblance of Fabio, just,
less money, less good looking, less talented, less muscles. I mean, there's similars.
Yeah, there's something there. Or kind of the Ed Stark Game of Thrones, for sure. I think Neil should lean into that look. I would go for that instead of Fabio. I mean, that would be my first.
Yeah, I like butter, though.
Who doesn't like butter?
Fabio, obviously, because he does a commercial.
Yeah.
He's actually a motorcyclist, by the way. Just a quick aside. Anyway, back to the comments. Kimmy H, another big follower. Nate is too sexy for his floaties. So I don't know about that. What do you think?
Back to back, Nate.
Oh, it's all Nate.
Love.
Well, nobody likes us, Baz. I mean, we don't get any good comments, so you have to read the Nate ones,
Let's
right?
get Nate in here to do the intro to keep people watching.
Yeah, I think it's all about Nate, right?
Maybe that's our big pivot.
Mike Thompson, here we go. Do I have to grow my eyebrows before I can order an NBR t-shirt? I'm sure that must be a reference to my eyebrow trimming.
I mean, you don't have to forcibly grow them. Just let them grow, as fast as they're going to grow. I mean, I know I have to keep mine trimmed.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit 40 and then they just start really just flying away.
If I get to 40, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Are they okay?
I mean, yours don't look too out of control today. They've got a lot of heft, but they're not all over the place.
Yeah, I didn't ride a motorcycle, so I got it under control. So
yeah. Great
comment. So really do appreciate it. You do have another one.
Yes, from Windmill 132. I am a huge fan.
You didn't just read that.
I mean, that's cool. It's good to have huge fans.
But anyway, to the show. So tonight we do have some really cool stuff. Obviously we got Nate doing Get Off the Lawn. You actually have about 17 minutes to go figure something out for the news.
Okay, good. I got nothing. I've covered the UFOs.
Do you want to go get on with that? So I'll just finish up here.
Yeah, I
guess.
guess.
You can stay around, but I mean, yeah, come up with something.
All right. I'm picking up on your negativity. Is that because I yelled at you about the magazines,
and the
missing magazines?
And calling Fabio.
I'm out of here then.
All right, we'll go get some news.
Fine, be that way.
All right, because we've got a great interview with Chris Parker, and it's a particularly interesting interview because he is a graphic designer, artist, puts together a publication I work for, and we have a little project announcement. We are going to tease off a new project, and we have a live Shameless plug this evening from California. We're bringing in Brian Rock. He is our friend from Marwinsports, and he's going to be talking about some products for us. So if Basil will get the news together, I'm going to get Chris, and we'll get going. Now, in tonight's interview, I'm sitting here with my good buddy Chris Parker, and this is really a very special interview for me because Chris has played a really important part in my life. A few years ago, I had a pretty traumatic experience with some business and some projects, and kind of got my ass handed to me in a pretty severe way. And as I guess we do as humans, I managed to crawl up my own you-know-what for a while. And didn't want to write, didn't really want to be in the motorcycle industry. And I went to a lunch with Chris with a group of people that he works with. And I don't know, for some reason, I just kind of told my story. And within an hour of telling my story, Chris had gone on Facebook and just, hey, this met me with Basil, you had this great story. He convinced me to start writing for the magazine that he's the designer for, OTL. And it started a great friendship, and he's sort of very integrally part of my coming back to life after a pretty traumatic experience, and really why we're here on the Neil Bailey Rides YouTube channel. He's the man responsible for the graphics that you see, all of my graphics. So anyway, long intro for Chris Parker. He is a motorcyclist, he's a father, he is a designer, he has got some hundreds of thousands of miles under his belt on motorcycles.
I would say close to 400.
Right. So Chris Parker, say hey to everybody, welcome.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me, Neil.
And so 4 years of age, you moved to America from Scotland, so you're actually a Brit like
I
me.
am. I'm a dual citizen of both the UK and the US.
That's why we're both so ugly, right?
That's right.
You're 4 years of age, you moved to America. Most of your early life is spent in South Carolina.
It is.
And your father, in your teenage years, came home with a motorcycle. Little Suzuki Cruiser.
Yeah, it was a 83 Suzuki GL 450. And it was a beat to death chain drive, and he got it used, and he rode all over the neighborhood in the area where I lived and grew up. And I was fascinated with it as a teenager, and I thought I want a motorcycle one day.
Now, you didn't immediately get a motorcycle at the time? Your parents didn't want you having one?
No, I was 17 at the time, and it was about another 15 years before I was able to buy my first bike in 2000.
So Dad's got the motorcycle, you're 17, Mum won't let you have one. And it was about 10 years later that you kind of had this, you saw a PC 800 Honda and thought, I've got to have one.
Yeah, my dream bike at the time, yeah.
Which was a particularly interesting bike, because, I mean, to me it looked like something you should have been delivering ice cream in. It had all the bodywork and the
body by
bags.
Tupperware.
Yeah, and you couldn't see the engine.
No. But it was very practical. Nothing like coming out of a grocery store with a gallon of milk and opening up the rear and just popping in one of the wells on the other side of the tire and having people look at you like, what in the heck did I just see this guy do? So it was fun, yeah. And I put a lot of miles on that.
You did. So that was the beginning of your sort of long distance mileage or big mileage, because you put about 10,000 miles on that thing, right?
Yeah, I got it used, and within 9 months I put 15,000 miles on it. And about 10 months into the ownership of the bike, I decided to upgrade to an RT. And I put some serious miles on that after.
So that was an R1100 RT BMW. Mm-hmm. It was about a 90s?
No, it was a 2001. It was
2001.
It was the last model year for the old 1100 RT, and then the next year was the 1150.
So after what, 30,000 miles on that?
39,000 miles in 14 months. So I was riding everywhere. Not married at the time. Every place I could go, I was on the bike and commuting back and forth to work and all. So.
And obviously, I had alluded to you as the designer of the magazine. So you have been in design since you graduated college.
Right. Solid for 31 years this year.
So as you're riding, you're still working in design.
Yep.
You're not married at that time. So you moved through an R1100 RT, R1150 RT, R1200.
RT, and in between those last two bikes, ST1300 Honda.
So how did you feel when you transitioned from a Honda to the BMW? Did you feel like I've made a mistake here?
No. Well, coming back to BMW was just because I wanted the Boxer engine, the iconic engine that is all BMW, and then lost a little weight in the process, about 140 pounds between the two bikes.
Right.
So the ST1300 is a V4, it's pretty heavy.
So going back to the twin, you're lighter.
Yes.
You like the power.
A little down on horsepower, but not much.
Yeah.
It does what it needs to do.
So between the three RTs and the ST, basically, you've got, what, a couple 100,000 miles of road ride?
Yeah, at that point. And then I've doubled it since. So
yeah. So the ST went.
Got the 1200 RT in 06, the second year of the new hex head, and put 75,000 miles on that in like 5 years.
Right.
So kids are in the picture at that point, and miles per year are down to
They
like
started to go off a
Yeah.
little bit. But you did. But you had a bit of an accident on the RT, didn't you?
a later one, a bit back, in 2016 on a liquid cooled RT.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my fault, deciding to pass a car, and at the last minute, the driver in front decided to turn left, and I avoided the hood of the vehicle, but I didn't miss the ditch.
Okay.
And apparently, an RT doesn't like to go off road as well as a GS.
So it didn't end well.
Yeah, broken leg, compound spiral fracture of the lower right leg.
Right.
I have a titanium rod in my lower right leg now, so I don't set off metal detectors.
Running out of skill sucks.
Yes, yeah, and road.
Yeah. So did you have a GS between those
Yeah.
RTs? So
I
you
have.
had actually got to being a GS rider at that point. Yeah.
I've had two. I had an 2011 GS, 1200 GS cam head, and I even danced with the K bikes. Got a K600 GT. Oh my
So you
God.
kind of had the GS and the ST at the same time, right?
The GS and the RT, and then
Same
I
time.
got rid of those and ended up getting a GT. Phenomenal engine.
How did you like that? I mean,
It's just, there's nothing like that engine. It's just supremely superior to anything I've owned.
it's typical BMW, isn't it? They put a massive, great big 6-cylinder engine. I mean, it's almost like being an electric motor.
It's
smooth,
perfectly
isn't it?
balanced.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just amazingly smooth. It's a rocket ship. It'll pull your arms out of your arm sockets if you get on it. Not that I ever did that.
No.
No, of course not.
And you put a fair bunch of miles on that too, right?
I did, and then I went back to an RT, the one I had my accident on, and I did that primarily because I was going through rear tires, and I just wanted to save on weight because it's a bit heavier than an RT.
Yeah, a lot of power, a lot of weight.
Yeah, 160, not at the rear wheel, but a rear tire every 5,000 miles is what I was looking at. So I was going home, tell the wife, I need to get another set of tires, and that was always painful to have to say.
I need more tires. But you've been designing, you've been in the motorcycle world, you're obviously doing a lot of motorcycling. And then around, 2017, you found your way to the RA. Correct?
Yeah, my name came up in discussion. I had a reputation as a designer in the regional area of the Southeast, having done stuff for Eurosport Asheville, BMW dealership, and my name came up in discussion for possibly upgrading the look and feel of the magazine.
Yeah, so just a quick dive in there. The magazine itself is called On the Level, and it's a beautiful sort of coffee table style magazine that Chris lays out. And it's for the RA, the Riders Association Club. There's two big BMW clubs in America, the RA and the MOA, and this is the RA. So, and as I mentioned earlier, after I met Chris, he talked me into doing a column for the magazine. Sometimes I do some reviews, and I'm old-fashioned. I love seeing my work laid out in a beautiful magazine, and all of the design elements in here. Obviously, that's your talent right there.
Yeah, and it's a team effort because between myself and the editor, John Flores, who is in New Jersey, he's a columnist for contributing writer rather to Roadrunner touring and travel.
Right, we had Florian Newhouser back in episode 13. I'm sure you guys would have enjoyed that. A lot of you are very familiar with the publication Roadrunner. So.
And so John is a veteran of the publishing industry. He's got some serious chops. It's been a total thrill to be working on this magazine with him. And so between the two of us and a couple other people involved in the editing process, we put this out every 2 months. So it is just a joy to do that. And I've been doing it, I just celebrated my 3rd full year of doing the magazine. So I've got 18 in the bag, and I'm hoping to do at least another 3 years plus, as long as they love having me on board.
Well, into every year, into the little Rainless Fall, and you'd started with the RA, and then tragically, you're driving home one night on the RT.
No,
GS.
GS Adventure.
You were on the GSA, which is
Yep,
the big adventure,
and I had a 2017 GS Adventure.
and you met Bambi.
I sure did. Late at night, I was 5 miles from my destination after having ridden most of the late afternoon and evening, heading to Willville Motorcycle Campground in Virginia. And next thing I know, I'm crawling out of the ditch. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if I passed out or something hit me. And I laid on the side of the road for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, until someone across the 4-lane highway came running and he comes out of his car with a cell phone up to his ear, and he said, "Don't move. Help is on the way." And I said, "Dude, what happened?" And he said, "Dude, you hit a deer." And then as more cars came in behind his and were stopping, I could see the headlights lighting up the side of the road, and there was the carcass of a 200-pound doe that it had crossed over 4 lanes of traffic from the left, and I was in the rightmost lane doing about the speed limit, and it had plowed into me, not the bike. It had actually crossed over and upset the handlebars and had me low side, and I slid for several hundred feet on asphalt. My gear saved me. I was wearing my Climb Badlands suit, and I'm actually a little unusual as a street rider, especially riding sport touring bikes. I wear a Revit neck brace made by Moveo out of Europe, and that basically saved my neck. But all my gear got trashed, and it did the job. It sacrificed itself versus me. But I had some broken bones, ribs 2 through 8, front and rear, broken collarbone, fractured my shoulder blade, all on my left side, and lacerated my spleen. And they saved that. They did a procedure in the hospital. But I had my first helicopter ride that night, so not the way I recommend getting a helicopter ride.
No, but within a few months, you're back in the magazine, you're back on the bike, you actually have a Yamaha FDR 1300 now.
Yep. I went to an
Back
FDR.
making miles?
Yeah, I've returned, and in 2 years I've done about 30,000+ miles on the FJR, which is a great bike. I never had one. They're dirt cheap to buy used, which is what I ended up doing, and seriously put some miles on it. So.
And you're having a good time with the magazine?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
You don't just design the BMW magazine. You do stuff for Jim Hyde at Rawhide Adventures, big BMW training facility.
Yeah, I met him in 2015 at the AIM Expo in Orlando and struck up a conversation. And ever since then, it's just been great to do graphics packages for their adventure days. They have a place called Zakar. It's a compound out in the Mojave Desert in California, and they turn it into a place every spring where they bring in 200+ registrants, and they have a whole long weekend, and they give out t-shirts, and the logo for each year is done by me.
Yeah, and I mean, it goes on and on and on. And because one of the things I mentioned in the intro, we have a project update. So Chris is the man responsible for my now upgraded R6. Chris, doing the R6 was actually not an easy project, was it?
No, because it is an older version of an R6. It's a 2005. And so there's 2 generations in between, I believe, mainly on the body panel work. And so finding any kind of template for that bike was non-existent. So we met face-to-face back in the fall, and I came up and traced the bike, got dimensions, and then plotted a plan for where things were going to go in the design. And then I had a good friend of mine back home in South Carolina who I've known forever, who did the actual applying of the graphics, and we went down and watched him do that. And it was just so cool to see it come together. I mean, a black bike and then all these graphics added to it, and the way it turned out. I'm pretty pleased with it, but Neil here,
I'm over the moon. Yeah, I mean, to have your own personal graphic bike with your own designer setting it up, it's really unique and really special. So, I can't thank you enough for that.
Oh, it was fun to do. And it's the first bike wrap I've done. Hopefully we'll have some more down the road. I've done 4-wheel vehicles before, but never a bike, and it was interesting to see it come together.
Talk a little bit about the RA before we let you go. I mean, it is an important club. They do great things, and quick shameless plug, if you guys want to, you can sign up online real easy, become a member, get the magazine. They actually do a real magazine every 2 months.
Yeah, so it's on par in terms of its longevity. It's been around since 1972. It is a club that's national, and we even have members outside the United States. We have events throughout the year. Our main event is the national rally that occurs all around the country. It moves from year to year. This year is going to be in Waynesville, North Carolina.
Oh, is it close to home? You can make it easy?
It is. It's on the other side of Asheville in the mountains where some of the best roads in the United States are. and it's going to be August the 12th through the 15th. And we usually get probably around 1,000 attendees for a 4-day rally. And then the organization itself is just fun. It is an organization that I'm proud to be a part of. Obviously, I do the magazine with others, but the guys that run it, the president, Sibley, Poland, and others that I work with at the board level are just tremendous people. They do a great job. So I highly recommend you go to bmwra.org and you can find out how to join there. And one of the benefits is that you get the magazine delivered to your mailbox every 2 months.
Yeah, and I'm super thankful to you for convincing me to start writing and contributing to the magazine, because it's just, like I say earlier on, it's been a big life changer for me. So.
Yeah, and one last thing about the magazine, it tickles me to no end to hear from people who say it's one of my favorite magazines to read. The quality that we put into this, the stories, the photography, we've stepped up our A game since I came on, and also with respect to John and just the quality of submissions. I can see a change in the last 3 years, and it's great to see that the club is really well received in the magazine.
Well, Chris, thanks so much for coming up. I mean, we love what you do. Like I say, Chris has done all the graphics. If you like all of the great graphics you see on the channel, he's responsible. If you like the R6, he's responsible. There's a few other things that he's been working on that we'll be releasing now. So Chris Parker, thanks a lot. And,
Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right, thanks.
Hello and good evening. It's March 3rd in the year of our Lord 2021. Here's the news. There is no news. There's just no more news. Which is a good thing, right? You know? But yeah, none. Like that was last one was the last one. Yeah, there's no news. 'Cause I'm burned out, you know? I'm here, I'm fresh off a cleanse, and finally, like, clarity, you know? Clarity, like no more drugs, no more alcohol, okay? Water, fiber, sleep, and no news, and no glowing screen, you know, completely clear, and realize that we just, you know, we probably just shouldn't have any more news. So that's what I'm going with. Hey you guys, in the last episode I joked about microdosing and meditation, and sometimes I joke, you know, and I'm gonna leave it up to you to guess, you know, how much drugs does Basil actually do, you know, and is he as crazy as he says, you know? It's up to you, and that's part of the fun, right? The process of discovery. But meditation is a really good thing, and just give it a shot like you would any other like positive thing or new habit you want to try. Give it 1 minute a day for a week, and just trust me, and use the apps if you got to or whatever. And meditation, you know, is you don't have to do the all it is just sitting there chilling the F out, listening to your breathing, and just doing that for a little while, as long as you can. You've got to find a place excuse me, to do it. Wait till the kids are gone, wait till wifey's gone, all that stuff, whatever. Find a place, good stuff. Microdosing level 2, okay? That involves taking drugs, right? These are the kind of drugs that grow out of the ground. They are scary because the government has told you they're scary, but they're really actually awesome. So, since nobody's watching this, we can talk about it because these drugs are illegal. So you have to be really careful with the procurement and the handling of these things. But, no BS, man. Meditation, microdosing, psilocybin is a place in Idaho where potatoes are grown. And so, I'm sorry, I apologize. I shouldn't joke and like crack up about stuff that like really matters to me and that I think really moves the needle for people in a positive way. Maybe I'm just that way, you know, people, whatever. But people are different. But so level 3 for the like, let's take it to a whole other DMT. Okay. Also, not legal except for maybe 2 countries. I think Neil's been to at least one of them. Has been used for millennia, okay? That's thousands of years to you and me, Rusty, all right? Aztecs, Mayans.
Way back.
So, of course, it's illegal because it makes you like smarter and more, conscious about the world. God forbid we get more conscious. So, but you guys, amazing. And so you have to kind of work your way up to these things. And I'm not trying to sell them, whatever. But again, love to spread enthusiasms. I heard that when you smoke DMT, you leave your body and you basically are within about 15 seconds right into the other dimension that we're not currently in. And let me tell you, when my buddy exhaled, he told me that when you close your eyes, you see the most organized, mesmerizing geometry, okay? And you are enraptured. And it feels like, he said it feels like, I don't know, you're kind of shot out into space. And, sorry, I'm playing with the table. And apparently it is a very, very life-changing experience. It's over quickly, but over a period of about half an hour, you realize you have a body again. And you feel like you've seen the source of the universe and rested back into your, mortal coil, and you're back. And there's a language called English, and you have a body that you have to use because you are a point of consciousness and you have to walk around and do the news.
Okay, so it seems like it's a really special evening this evening because I have a really dear friend here, Brian Rock. So we actually have a live Shameless plug. So rather than me sitting here yapping all about some product, we've actually bought the product man himself.
Yeah, thank you. And really, as far as product goes, I want to say thank you for representing us as a climb took place not long ago.
So should intro you, Brian from Marwin. Do you say Marwin Motorsports or
Marwinsports? Yeah, we do a lot in motorsports, so it's easy to get confused on that one for sure.
But I always see all your NASCAR posts because you work with a lot of NASCAR guys.
Yeah, we do some work in NASCAR. We work with the National Hot Rod Association. We're an official partner. I'm actually on the long way down to Gainesville. I live in Los Angeles, but that's a long story. But as I roll through Charlotte, of course, must see you and happy to be here.
Well, I'm going to give a bit of backstory because if you go in our outdoor adventure section, you'll see a small video from the top of Mount Kenya.
Yes.
And it's, I think, the second highest freestanding peak in Africa. So Brian kindly kitted me out fully for my climb, which was, adventure pants, hats, shells, waterproof jackets, t-shirts, shorts, all of the Marwin stuff, so that basically my climb was comfortable, waterproof, and so greatly appreciate it. And prior to that, he has been a really, really solid friend and donor to Wellspring, my foundation. He's made multiple donations over the years, always comes and takes me to dinner when he's in Charlotte, so we're greatly thankful for him. And he's going to tell us a little bit about some product.
Well, from a shameless plug perspective, I must say, your pants, for one, what a great model we have here.
There we go.
Right?
Don't do that in front of Basil because he gets a little excited.
And so, we produce apparel for racing teams, the teams themselves, the series themselves, being official partner of the National Hot Rod Association, pro stock motorcycles, top fuel drag, top fuel Harleys and things like that. We'll be on track in Gainesville at the Gator National, so pretty excited to be there. And but yeah, we're outfitting the entire crew, from the safety guys to the series officials, and as well the teams themselves, John Force Racing and Don Schumacher Racing and a few others. So yeah, excited to be down there, and beautiful journey, and really happy to have you on board as a really, I think, our most striking model. and very, very talented. Yeah, no, not at all. But really just we're trying to change the world in terms of trying to do things right, bring in new technology. Believe it or not, in apparel, we're using nanotechnology. We have waterproof gear, masks, things like that. Again, climbing mountains, I can only imagine, wet inside and out. So in your case, hopefully at least we kept you dry.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and we're making smart apparel as well to basically get information for events. So you buy a t-shirt, Neil Bailey, it can lead to your app. Basically get people to know you better, watch these webisodes more easily as well by push notification and things like that. And so really just trying to make things a little bit better using technology, have some amazing partners, and really just bringing the juices together to make hopefully some good things happen.
Well, we appreciate
beyond apparel.
And it's been, obviously for everybody, it's been a tough year with COVID because, trying to start a company and get things going. But you guys are soldiering forward, doing a great job.
Yeah, we made some good money, but we spent more doing it. But as it was, you got to keep the lights on and keep everybody paid, and we're just happy to enjoy what we do. So hopefully those painful days don't feel as painful as they would otherwise if we hate what we do. So if there's any good from it, just smile every day.
Beautiful. And are you going to leave a couple of these with us?
Please, absolutely.
Perfect. So we've got some nice waterproof scarves here.
Yeah, some gaiters and some bandanas, and we all have to wear these damn masks, so I guess we might as well try to find something that works.
Well, you guys are by the studio. We have a couple of spares. So Brian, we'll let you go. I know you got to get down to the Gator Nationals.
Yeah.
And thanks for stopping by. Marwinsports, Brian Rock, thank you for coming with us
Cheers.
for a live shameless plug.
Action. Good evening, I'm Nate, and this is Get Off My Lawn. Tonight I want to talk about a topic that just kind of weirds me a little bit. I mean, I understand it, but as we are getting just gracious amounts of followers now on our channels, on our Instagram, I want to talk about that a little bit. It's a little bit uneven, if you will. So what I've noticed is if you're a young lady of a certain size and stature, and you wear a certain amount of clothing, and you take pictures in certain positions, you really get a lot of followers on Instagram. It's crazy. I mean, and then here we are with a tangible talent where we fix things and make them run and make beautiful art and machinery, and I can't get like 32 likes. Are you serious? I mean, it just seems to be a disparity in social media. I mean, I get everybody wants to look at a pretty lady every now and then and all. But seriously, you people are following these nitwits who are just, for the lack of a better word, talentless things? I mean, I'm not talking specifically about anybody. I'm sure some of these ladies are very talented in other fields and all, but that's not what's getting them likes, is it? No, it's not. So I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe go on social media and seek out people that are very talented in their professions and work really hard and have a very unique skill, and start following them, and not Mr. Brodacious who is taking his shirt off. I mean, I get it again. It's all what you see and whatnot. But think about that next time you're scrolling and swiping. Hey, I'm into guitars. Maybe I'll go check out these guitar makers, or I'm into computers. What about these people that build computers? Let me give them a follow and a like. Maybe think about that sometimes when you're scrolling and sitting on the can. I mean, that's what I do. And just think a little bit more about, rewarding people that really work hard and have talents that are maybe beyond what you have in certain areas and all. And that's what kind of makes the place a social, fun environment. But you're not going to do that, are you? Get off my lawn.